Yeah, my name's Tony Wiseman. I'm the current production planner for the refinery. About my occupation, basically, the refinery's now part attached to the mill, and I just organise all the planning of what sugar goes in what bags and off to what customers around the country. So, well, my favourite part is, it's always been the camaraderie amongst the workforce. I first sort of worked here back when I was back in 1978. So I grew up outside the front house here in the front yard, and pretty much I might be 64 years of age now, but my whole life I've lived on this site pretty much. So I treated the whole site as my playground as a kid, and eventually I got the chance to work in the business, and that's how I'm pretty much a career person in the refinery and mill.
The mill shaped your life.
Not only shaped my life, it shaped my whole family's life. I think I'm the fourth generation to come through the place, and I was saying to people, like, I've done over 30 years. My father did 49 and a half years, call it 50. His father did 40, and his father before that, I think, done about 30. So just the Wiseman family, we've done probably best part of 120 of the 150 years. And the way it's shaped us, like, there wasn't much emphasis on education in the day. Dad and mum had five kids. Dad didn't, his education wasn't too high in the high school system. And he made a vow that every one of his kids would get an education, and that's what he's done. We're very grateful for that, and really it's the industry that's allowed him to do that. And from each generation on, our family has grown, and without the mill, we wouldn't have been able to do that. It gave us stability, and as far as I'm aware, our family have always put in for the company. So really, to be part of this company and part of this industry, one of the things was, um, it was all part of the community. So even though we worked together on weekends, we would play sport against each other, the kids with their school. So we got to see each other pretty much 7 days a week. So there was always this bond amongst the entire workforce. And people, wanted to work here in this industry. They seen it as a pinnacle in the area. There was fishing, a little bit of tourism, but it was the cane industry, and that's what people wanted. And even to this day, I'll be walking around the streets and people are saying to me, "How's the cane going?" You get that question all the time. So people still see you in the community as an integral part of the community. 150 years celebration to me is, I look at it in the way that, life expectancy for Australians is around 80 years of age, and for a business to get 150 years, or an industry to get 150 years, when most expectancies are around 80 years, it's just something to be really proud of and be a part of. And as I said, for that, the business to still be growing, like, it's still got a long way to go. I think it's proven that it's stayed the test of time, and will go onwards and upwards from here.
Some of the most significant changes you've seen here at the mill.
There's been a lot over the times. I can remember from being a young kid. We used to ride the cane carriages into the mill, and then we also had the cane came in via the punts on the river. Um, like as kids, we used to help the guys bring the punts in as well, and then the big one, the big ships that came in to take the sugar away as well. They'd come up to the river, and then we went to the transport of bringing the cane in via away from rail and away from the river, and that really exploded the whole industry. And just and I think it's been extremely good management over the years that the business hasn't died. It's just grown and grown and grown, and to this day, we're still looking at different ways to do things, so that hopefully there'll be another 100 years down the path. It's not the way it's shaped my life. As I said, like, the mill people are a family group of people, and I was lucky enough to meet my wife here as well, and we're living happily ever after. Superpowers that I would like to have is one is to be able to fly. Now, I just love seeing the visuals, like the drone shots over the sugar mill. Like it's just so impressive. You see the drone shots over the Sydney Harbour, everything looks so impressive. And to be able to look up, look down upon that, what you've been, what you've seen, it's just fantastic, and very proud to be a part of it. And the other thing is the ability to make the right decision at the right time. Now, to be here 150 years, there's been a lot of decisions made at the right time to be here, and I'd like to think that would continue on, and we keep making the times ahead are going to be tough, but I think we've got the right people to make the right decisions to continue the business. As I said, it's not only the business itself; it's the whole community that's sort of pretty much backing the right decisions to be made. Like I mentioned about the camaraderie of the whole place. There is so many different characters that work in this place. There's people from all walks of life, and we've got the infamous red dog, the graveyard sites down there at the slipway where this red dog just followed one of the individuals all around the site. The refinery had a goat that was living in the chemical tank farm. It lived there for 20 or 30 years. How it lived, I don't know, but it lived there. But it was just an iconic part of the refinery. But as I said, it was just a playground to me. And that's probably the thing I cherish most. And it's said that, the kids of today, they don't get out and play, they don't have that. But then there was no safety restrictions as such in those days as well. Like they used to use a grab to get the cane out of the punts to put into the mill. And I would have only been 12 years of age, and the guy running the grab, who I used to sit up in the cabin with him while he was doing it, he said, "You want to have a go at it?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" Right. So I'm grabbing cane out of a cane punt and putting into the process when I'm 12 years of age. Like, yes, I know you shouldn't be able to do those things these days, but that was just how we grew up. It was just what you did. So, and living on Harwood Island, it's just a great little town to live, and to have the mill as part of the hub of that whole island, like the pub, the sporting teams, everything that's come out of there. Like, and people say to me, "Oh, you lived on an island," and I would say, "Yeah, I live on an island." I didn't tell them that you just went over a bridge or a ferry to get there, but it was just a great little village to grow up in. And, if I can just finish up with one thing, like living in this community, I've always been proud to say that I'm a mill worker. Um, it's not something that I take for granted, and that yes, I'm a mill worker and I'm proud to work here.